Hi there, Islander fans and hockey fans. This is Dee Carl from New York Islanders 7th Woman, and today is Wednesday, December 9th, and I'm here in my office, and due to bad weather and being a little under the weather, we have Anthony Curatolo on the phone. Say hey, Anthony.
How's it going, hockey fans? Sorry I can't be there with you, Dee. I'm not doing so hot today.
Well, that's good, because at least you're staying away from everybody and not infecting them, like, since it's so bad this year.
I don't want to get anyone sick around holiday season, so I'm going to keep myself trapped indoors.
All right, well, we know something else made us sick yesterday. Well, at least made me sick. I know you're the Flyers fan. You probably got a lot to say about this particular game, which wasn't exactly a surprising loss.
Well, no, it wasn't. And what we started out with is the road trip remorse.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a sudden losing streak. Pardon me. They're, 0-2 in the last two games. You lose to a Lightning club that you should have beat. However, when you lose to a Flyers team that pretty much at this point were out for blood,
yeah,
it was more so expected, I think, for the Flyers to win this game. I mean, it's not that the Islanders looked that horrible. They weren't great. By any means, they weren't great at all. But you have to give credit where credit is due. New coach, you lost the first two games under Laviolette. It was a must-win for the Flyers on home ice. So it's more expected than something that should be troubling within the Islanders.
Right, and even Scott Gordon did say to me that when I felt it might have been a bonus to have Peter Laviolette coming in and not being able to put his systems into place, he was the one who said to me, he was like, you know what, it could work in reverse because they're going to have a lot more jump, and they absolutely did.
And that was shown last night during the contest, absolutely. But, I mean, there's so much right now that can be spoken about. I think the way to start this off, heading into the ACC tonight on a losing trip, but, we will get into that in a little while. I know that there's something that you want to bring up before we really get into that.
Yeah, there is one particular thing that I'd like to say, and Anthony has given me the idea of the MotherSlap, and I would like to do this. Flap! Chris Pronger, what the heck are you thinking? I mean, you have the reputation of being mean and nasty and being a little bit of a bully, and that's all well and good. But if you're going to do such a thing, especially on a young player like John Tavares, could you do it when he's looking at you? The hits from behind, you know what? That's just being a bully. That's not, I just don't think that's right.
I think you made great mention about Pronger's reputation. He's a big, bad bruiser, Denise. We have a little saying in Philadelphia now. We call Pronger's elbows the WMDs, the weapons of mass destruction. And
well, yeah, I think it took out at least one or two of JT's teeth.
But you know what? The advantage, aside from the ugly hit and the fact that it had to be Pronger that did it, welcome to the National Hockey League, John Tavares. You're officially a National Hockey League player now.
Yeah, that's true. Understandable. Every hockey player's got to go through it. He's a young player. It's fine, but the hit should have been done while the kid was looking. That's all I have to say about that.
And I can't disagree with you at all, Denise. We know Pronger's reputation, and I mean, no, I don't mean to bring this up, but is he as dirty as Scott Stevens? I don't think so, but we know that he likes to get the arms up.
Yes.
And it's been shown time and time again. You can't take away what Pronger brings to the ice for a team and off the ice, although it's unfortunate that being who he is with his reputation, things like this are going to get more of the spotlight.
Right. Not only does it get more spotlight, but he also gets away with it because he has at least one award. So he's given a little bit more leniency in the league. Now, we did have a Biron Rolison debate. Again, we had a game that was a 6-2 loss with Biron in net.
And he looked horrible.
He looked horrible. But you know what? I'd also like to say one thing. I did notice that they do play differently in front of Biron than they do in front of Rolison. I think there's a lot more crowding of the crease of our own defensemen when Biron is in net, and I don't know if it's because they just don't have they're worried about him. They don't have the confidence in Marty that they do in Rolison, or is just Rolison going to poke him out of the way? Which is it?
You know what it is? I personally, again, I was the player. I know how it is when you have a different goalie between the pipes, and you know how they both have different styles and different ways that they approach the game. The team in front wants to do a little bit more when they come onto the ice, depending on who's between the pipes for that night. And you're crease so that the shots don't get through, and it's not really helping as Duran's not able to see the shots.
Correct. And that's exactly what I keep thinking, is that he is not able to see any of them, and then not only can't he see them, but because the crease is so crowded, the pucks are just bouncing off our defensemen, and just they're getting, you know, shots that aren't getting stopped, and it's just a shame because it's not really great for Marty's numbers at all.
It's not, but when, and I don't mean to speculate, I'm not saying anything, but when the time does come, he is a very cheap asset for a team that wants to make the playoffs that can use a veteran backup goaltender.
Right.
So that will play out to his advantage, as well as the New York Islanders' advantage when it comes to a trading chip. Yep,
absolutely. Now, of course, the Islanders are heading into the ACC tonight to play the Leafs. They are heading in there without Tim Jackman, who left the game very, very early after a hit on Richards after he knocked him down.
I think he only played about 1:53 on 3 shifts in the first period.
Yep, supposedly his a hip pointer is being looked at. And sadly, we were also losing Sean Bergenheim tonight after a hit on Giroux. They said something about a rib injury. Sean has had rib injuries before. Don't know if it's the same one that's being aggravated, but we're losing him tonight as well. So that means that our two resident press box players, Robbie Schremp and Blake Como, will probably get to see the ice tonight, because I do have word, haven't heard of any call-ups, so we've got Robbie and Blake probably playing, unless Gordon wants to play with the shorter bench.
Well, in Trump's case, it's another chance for him to prove his value to a team which at this point is still 0.
Yeah.
So, and you know, obviously they did the right thing, picking him up on waivers. He's a young player. Hopefully he can get something going for himself tonight up at the ACC against the Leafs. What's the issue with that, again, Denise, and I know that we talk about this a lot with Sutton and Waite out of the lineup, you're bringing in 2 young players into the lineup where that leadership is starting to show that it's needed.
Right.
So, I mean, hey, listen, good luck to both of them. I hope they both play, and they play a decent amount of time, and they can show something to the coaches that can warrant them another few games where possibly they'll be able to show up and actually do well. And I wish them luck, and I hope nothing but the best. The Islanders need to turn this road trip around heading into Saturday's game at home against Boston, and it's a great opportunity for them to go 500 over the last, few games.
Yeah.
And a few people have mentioned it, and I'm sure that you have and have thought of it, but this road trip could have turned into some kind of blessing in disguise with the poor play. Instead of being such a downer, maybe we can take some pointers from it, and the team can take some situations from the road trip and build from them, instead of just thinking that it's doom and gloom coming back home.
Absolutely, and I was listening to Ray Ferraro today on NHL Live, and he did mention that, you know, the Islanders, they can be a dangerous team, but it's obvious that, you know, mistakes can be made. They're a very young team, and their youth does show. Tonight is going to be very interesting, only because the Leafs have been playing better with Kessel and Komisarek in the lineup. They've hit their stride. This is anybody's game tonight. We don't know who's going to win. So whether or not the Islanders come home winning or losing, yes, this road trip, it might have been a good thing to show them a few things where they need to improve, and a few things that they're really doing well on.
Denise, if you don't mind, I think I have a few things that can guarantee an Islanders victory tonight.
Okay. I like that. What do you got?
First and foremost,
a little voodoo, maybe? No.
Oh, yeah, I have my little Tosco voodoo doll with the pins through the eyes.
Okay.
First and foremost,
I have my Jeff Tambellini bobblehead here.
Night.
I'm sorry, honey, what?
First and foremost, build off the power play performance from last night. Okay, John Tavares had 2 power play goals.
Yes.
The only 2 goals of the game, unfortunately. But they can take that and show that, okay, you know what? The man advantage is working. Let's go with it. Second off, the key to tonight is to keep the shots at 30 or under. We do not want a deja vu from last time.
No, I don't think we do that. We want that at all, because I think we would lose Rolison right then and there. If he has to face another 61 shots, it's not going to bode well for anybody. And I don't think that the flight home would be